Hello my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole, and welcome to what is probably going to be our, I can't believe I'm saying this, but our last new skincare try-on of 2024. And we have so few products, but you know why. You know that this is the time of year where companies aren't releasing products. No, they're releasing holiday sets. I think really the only brand new release that I have is the Geek and Gorgeous A-Game 20. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. This will be my second night trying this out. That was gifted to me, and I also received some PR from Pacifica, including their new moisturizing oil cleanser. I bought everything else for this video, including the Rael Tea Tree Sheet Masks. That brand is now at Ulta, which I'm pretty excited about. I remember them at Target. I bought the Medicube Collagen Glow Booster Serum, and I bought the Loose Flortte Therapy Wand. This is a Solawave dupe. I've had a lot of people ask me to try out the Solawave, but I've just not been willing to invest $170. This was on sale for $75, and I spent credits on it. I'll explain everything. I do want to talk about, can reviews ever really be honest? So let's get into it. Timestamps and links are in the description box below, as always, and of course this is a PM skincare routine. By the way, Pacifica also sent me a few more products of my choice, which included makeup items. It is so interesting to me that they are able to keep their prices low and yet have a $14 mascara in glass packaging, as well as their concealer and corrector. I really like these two, the concealer and corrector. The mascara, this is my bad, it's a waterproof formula, and I don't dislike it, but I don't like that stick pointy, the sensation that waterproof mascaras give my lashes, which is sharp and pointy. Please tell me someone understands what I'm trying to convey here. But if you do like waterproof mascaras, you might like it. This brush is kind of wild. Look at that. It looks like DNA. But it's nice for rotating on your lashes so you can really get every lash. That said, I learned from my mistakes. This will be my second time using this cleanser, and this time I'm going to try out a product I bought from Flortte. This is basically a mascara remover in the same sense as the mascara removers in J Beauty, only this is C Beauty. Even looks exactly like them too. I did notice that on the Yesstyle website, the size of the mascara remover is sold out, but they have a 1 milliliter size for I think about $3. That's kind of nice though. I saw some people saying they bought it specifically for travel. The one I'm using is the 4 milliliter size, but yeah, it's out of stock at the moment. So now I'm gonna let that sit for just a few minutes, and then we'll use one of my Claire's wipes and wipe it away. Did everyone vote? Did you do your early voting? Are you voting on November 5th? We voted today. I would show you my I voted sticker, but it says my it says my county on it, and I feel like if I shared that, you all might go, oh, do you think it made a difference? Maybe. Maybe. I admit that in order to get to the voting station, we had to wade through a sea of Trump signs. I thought I saw a Harris Waltz sign, but it turned out it was just a haircuts at Walmart sign. Let's get this off here. All right, it's coming off in kind of flakes, which is my experience so far with this mascara. It's the new look. It's a little sloppy at the moment, but that's okay because we are going to go in with this moisturizing oil cleanser. Now, let me explain to you, this was not what I expected it to be. It says on the bottle, action, melt away daily pollutants and stubborn makeup while deep cleaning pores. Who? Pre-cleansers and sensitive skin types. Hi. Who want a lightweight formula that rinses clean and that makes your day and skin happy. So I thought this would be an oil cleanser, and I went to use it the exact way you use an oil cleanser, on dry skin, right? Nope, wrong. That was not working at all, so I tried again, this time adding water and foaming it up, and look, So now that I've figured this out, I do think it is a nice all-in-one cleanser. It's not going to remove the most heavy of makeup. That's why I pulled out that Flortte mascara remover. But most K-Beauty sunscreens, they're not difficult to remove. Light makeup like I wore today, you don't necessarily have to double cleanse. I am not anti-double cleansing. Sometimes I most certainly do double cleanse, but I don't feel the need to every day. So I'm going to go rinse in the sink, and I'll be right back. I have had so much trouble removing this mascara. I finally just went in with the Innisfree makeup remover. It's like Bifacil, which I'm almost out of clearly. But I don't know if that means this was not effective. I think it might actually just be that I've been over here trying to remove a tubing mascara with oil-based removers. That doesn't work. I don't know, but I do know that when I took this off the other day, it came off in a bunch of thick flakes. We need some kind of standardized way of explaining which mascaras remove with just water, tubing mascaras, and which ones are true waterproof. I just feel like there's no standardized way to tell. Water resistant and beach ready, I mean, I was so sure this was waterproof, but water resistant isn't necessarily waterproof, right? We know that from sunscreens. So anyway, what I do know about right now is the cleanser. I like it. I like it. $14 for 8 fluid ounces, big bottle. Just as a heads up, in spite of its name, Moisturizing Oil Cleanser, it is an oily gel cleanser. So in place of toner, we are going to do the Rael Tea Tree Facial Sheet Mask. This is made with tea tree leaf oil, cica, and chamomile on a bamboo base. I like that even though it does contain tea tree oil, which is an essential oil, one that benefits a lot of people, but an essential oil nonetheless. It still overall has a bit of a more concise ingredients list for a sheet mask. And personally, I gotta say, I love the smell of tea tree oil. I really do, because it works well for me. I'm acne prone, and that's a great antibacterial ingredient for me. Again, not for everybody, nothing ever is, but yeah, I really like tea tree oil. And this mask is great. It stays wet on your skin for that full 10-minute duration or longer. I feel like I left the first one of these on for probably about 15 minutes. And listen, y'all, while I have this on, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about how important this election is. You know, women's health. Women's health is on the ballot. And trust me, I wish I had been wrong. I wish I didn't have a personal story to tell you, but I feel like so many of you watching this video also have personal stories of things that have happened to you or people in your life over this past year or so. I know somebody who has been dealing with, let me see, I'll describe it as ovarian issues. So it started probably about a year ago, and she unfortunately was misdiagnosed. This is a real problem because when she was misdiagnosed, she was given a treatment regimen, and because it was the opposite treatment, her symptoms actually worsened. She has been in and out of the hospital. So they finally figured out it's the wrong diagnosis, and you know, at this point, with everything she's been through, they are recommending a hysterectomy. She wants a hysterectomy, you know, again, in and out of the hospital for a year. But no doctor will do it. And this is, again, the problem of politicians writing the rules for doctors. It's such a wild thought, you know, doctors get years and years of experience and education, and politicians are telling them what they can and can't do. But childbirth is something that is incredibly hard on the human body. In modern society, it was getting better and better and better until the overturning of Roe versus Wade, because now you have questions that didn't used to exist. Now you have situations where doctors are going, oh my gosh, we have, you know, a non-viable fetus in this woman, but our hands are tied. Oh, it turns out this is actually making this woman sick. What's happened is, it's not just a story of, you know, people who want abortions don't have access to them. This is a story of people who want to have children are experiencing awful situations, and they can't get them resolved because doctors' hands are tied. This is a channel that is obviously science-based. I'm a scientist, not a skincare scientist, but I am a scientist. So obviously, the way I approach skincare is science-based. And inevitably, for as much as some people are like, don't touch politics, Alice, at some point we have to acknowledge politics affects everything. Every single time I sit here and tell you about how bad American sunscreens are, it's because of politics. So that's all I'm gonna say for now about this, but you all know, this is an important election. I really hope you vote. I hope you help people to get out there and vote, and I hope that access to healthcare can be restored. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit longer, and I will be right back. Okay, so we're going to remove this. Again, I feel like it was probably about 15 minutes. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to tell you all. So this is another one of these companies where I think their products are, at least these, are made in Korea, but I believe this is a, yeah, Rael, Los Angeles, an American company. Okay, next up, we are going to be using the loose Flortte therapy wand. However, this is one of those supposedly microcurrent you're already giving away some of my thoughts. Supposedly microcurrent devices where it says to apply it on top of any kind of serum. So we're just going to use the one from Medicube today. This is their Collagen Glow Booster Serum. I like it. I honestly don't like this packaging. I like the product inside. Great formula, kind of a creamy serum. But why? Why do we have to do this? I feel like this is just expensive packaging for what? For what? And you only get a ½ ounce of product in here? What on earth? This is K-Beauty at practically Western prices in terms of price per ounce. All for this packaging. Come on. I like Medicube. I really do. I love the devices. But I don't know. I'm iffy on this one. But now that my skin is very moist, let's talk about whether reviews can ever really be honest. Here's the thing. I think there's a very clear and direct answer to that question. Of course, reviews can be honest, but there's a difference between honest and helpful, and that's really what I want to talk about. So again, Solawave type of product here, a dupe, and they say it's the 4T, meaning it's supposed to do kind of 4 different things. For some background on this, I have already expressed some hesitation with this type of products, but let me take a moment and tell you what Doctorly said about this. They expressed concern over whether, this is a red light device, red light or blue light. Doctorly expressed concern about whether you are actually getting, enough red light by passing this across your face in contrast to something like a full face mask. I also came across a doctor, I think her name was Dr. Sarah, I'll make sure to link her video, wherein she talked about the Solawave and she said it does nothing. She did not recommend it. I was shocked. I was reading through her comment section and people were so negative. So many people were really attacking her, and I think it's because they interpreted her video as attacking them. A lot of defenders of Solawave were in her comment section saying things like, I've seen a lot of results from it. And that's exactly what I want to make sure to distinguish in this conversation. I want to talk about nuance. I want to talk about whether products ever really do nothing. Because I totally understand where she was coming from. I think she was trying to be helpful, but I also understand the reaction from people. Okay, so this, again, a dupe for Solawave. It's making basically the same claims. They say that it has microcurrent function. Now, what you all need to know about microcurrent is that microcurrent doesn't just refer to the new face. Microcurrent's kind of an umbrella term for a lot of different kinds of current. You could be talking about galvanic, you could be talking about the kind of microcurrent in new face. Electroporation is a type of microcurrent. So it is a word where I think that it can mean a lot of different things. And let me grab my Medicube Booster Pro. I'm going to do a side-by-side with these so you can... the things I do on this channel, hopefully you can see that, I feel, and I think you see so much more from the Medicube device versus this wand. It's so hard for me to confirm or deny whether there's a current in this because, truth be told, I don't feel anything other than heat and vibration. We'll come back to that. I don't think the company is lying. I think there's some kind of current in here, but it just... at the very least, I can tell you it feels very weak in comparison to the many other microcurrent devices and many other different types of microcurrent devices that I have. So then this conversation about LED, and this is where most of these doctors that I've seen, dermatologists, have expressed hesitation with these devices. So again, here's that red light, and here's something that I have waxed poetic about on the channel. When it comes to red light therapies, you need to keep 2 things in mind, both the wavelengths as well as the intensity. So let's compare that to the Dr. Dennis Gross here. Does this look like the same wavelength and output? Here we have a comparison of in the blue light. And to reiterate why this matters, when we talk about LED face masks, when we recommend those, it's based on the data, the published research that is on these wavelengths and intensities. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if it is fair for companies to then come out with a red light or blue light device where, sure, it's red light and blue LED. There's no question about that. That's what this is. But does it compare to the studies on anti-aging, on acne, in a device where you would have to move it around your face, hoping to mimic that wavelength, as well as that intensity? Remember, it's a dosage of LED. You have to think of it almost as the same way you would think of applying skincare products or, I don't know, taking a supplement. But you see, we're not done. This is what's really important about this conversation. So that's half of their claims, microcurrent and LED, both of which I feel skeptical of, for lack of better phrasing. But they also say this has a vibration function, which enhances product absorption and massages the skin, and a heat therapy function, which relaxes facial muscles and opens up pores for better skincare concentration. There's no denying, yeah, this has those features, and you know what? This actually feels really nice to use. I am actually genuinely sitting here and enjoying this right now. And this is where the confusion comes in, because this is not nothing. Quite frankly, it's most like using a gua sha, which also doesn't do nothing. I know a lot of people believe that this does nothing, but it doesn't. If and only if you have facial puffiness, you will see a reduction in that. You won't see any kind of, facelift-like sculpting, nor will you see an improvement of acne with gua sha. But yes, if you do have facial puffiness, then this will help with that. And can we please not forget the importance of psychological benefits? So many people still in 2024 continue to overlook how important it is to find enjoyment in your routine. And this device, again, was on sale, $75. It's nice. Maybe for some people, that kind of an investment is what motivates them to do their routine. And if you think about it that way, what you have going on here is a tool wherein people are finding motivation, therefore they see better results. But is it because of the LED and the microcurrent in this device? This is exactly how I think we end up at this divergence point where some people say it does nothing and other people say, nope, I saw results. And yet the reality probably is more in the middle. The problem is there's really no such thing as a fully unbiased review. Going back to Dr. Sarah's video, if people spent, the Solawave is $170, if they spent $170 on a device and they are enjoying it, don't you think they're going to be kind of defensive? Before I end this section, I want to talk about something that I see a lot of people talk about, and that is this belief that, you can't trust people who receive these expensive products in PR. They didn't spend their own money on it. How can they possibly know how a product really is? There still is a problem with the people that have spent their own money on these expensive products, and that's where we run into something called the sunken cost fallacy. At some point, wherever it is, and it's individual for everybody, there is a point where people really don't want to think that they spent money on something that wasn't worth it. To find an unbiased review is practically impossible, and if somebody says that they truly have an unbiased review, they are probably dealing with bias, which is where you believe you aren't biased. That in itself is a bias. We love it. We love it. I think my point, I think what I'm trying to convey is that, yes, everybody inherently has some amount of bias, but I think it is important to keep in mind that some people really are just kind of trying to be helpful. I don't have anything negative to say about the dermatologists who are saying things like, this does nothing. I don't agree. I think it does something. But I appreciate that, in my opinion, they are trying to call out the divide between the published research on the anti-aging benefits and what these devices can realistically deliver based on their own inherent limitations. I'm going to tell you one more thing before I move on from this. I'm going to put this away for the time being because, again, I've said this in a few videos now. I'm testing a red light mask, a new red light mask, and I don't want to keep testing this because confounding variable much? But I'll probably come back to this in time because I don't disagree with the people who say things like, how can you review a product if you've never tried it? That's a good point. Let me take down my hair and finish out this video. We have but one more step in tonight's video, and that is a retinoid sandwich with now officially the strongest retinoid over the counter that I've ever seen. Good for you, Geek and Gorgeous. Again, this is the A-Game 20.2% retinaldehyde. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this retinoid sandwich tonight, and I was thinking, let's use the Axis Y Sarah Hart My Type Duo Cream. Axis Y is our next incoming brand review. The only thing I wish is that rather than this being a full insert, I wish you could lift each side individually. And I will confess I've been being me, using up more of the cream side than the gel. Now the plan is I'm going to grab the gel tonight, start with that. That can be layer 1 before we get to our retinoid. Gonna let this sit for a few minutes, gonna add my own eye cream. I will come back for our retinoid. I am doing exactly my method for adapalene with this product. I don't know, ooh, it's very yellow. Of course it's very yellow. What else would we expect here? You wanna use a tiny amount, so I spread it across my fingers in tiny little dots and then dab those all over my face. Retinoids take a while to see results. I don't yet know if I will be able to stick with this. I had recently tried to incorporate the new Paula's Choice Adapinoid and retinoid product. However, some of you let me know about some things that were going on with the Paula's Choice brand, and after looking into it, I decided not to include that product. So it was just right back to my adapalene routine. With this release, I feel very excited. I feel like I might want to work this one in. We're finishing up this routine back into the Sarah Duo. By the way, this was gifted through Joelcy, which I also love. I will be watching Joelcy and Style Korean especially close for Black Friday deals. I feel like Style Korean actually had probably my personal favorite Black Friday deals. I shouldn't say Black Friday. It was actually on November 8th, I was just re-looking this up, thinking about how I want to do a Black Friday video. Yeah, November 8th of last year, I placed one of the most amazing Style Korean orders. It was all of the Mary and May items. I think I still have this haul as a short here on YouTube. Amazing deal. I paid $50 for how many items? So I'm going to be watching out for Singles Day sales from Style Korean and for, you know how we on this channel appreciate brands like Chogongjin, History of Who. I'm going to watch Joelcy for those. And that, my friends, is tonight's skincare routine. I feel like it was a long video for a relatively short routine, but as always, thank you for watching. And make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.